What's up guys, back for another Honkai Star Rail video, and Saruja is finally out on all versions of the game. And of course we gotta go over Prydwen's tier list because oh my lord, they're getting flamed left and right. People who are Saruja fans are glazing the hell out of it. It is actually insane, so I gotta give my thoughts on it, right? Because I've already seen it, unfortunately. It was like the first thing I woke up to, right? Um, I don't really care for this character too much. I'm at 51 or like 53 pity because I think I did a single or two for the funnies. I'm gonna give her one multi. I really don't care for her. If I pull her, cool. I could probably make a couple videos off of her, I guess. Right? I don't have an Oxen, but I do have Fane on. If we lose 50-50, please be Blade. If we don't get anything, I don't really care. Right? That lose 50-50 or we don't pull anything. Evernight, the new March is, I wouldn't say guaranteed without spending, but like we're pretty much getting her, right? So yeah, this is all she's getting. I really just don't care for this character, but content creator, so might as well say I at least attempted it, right? And all right, well, we didn't get anything, so boom, Don Hang, the better wind unit. Anyway, let's go ahead and pull up Prydwen's tier list real quick. So the only thing they updated for this was actually just Saruja herself. There is nothing else, unfortunately. No MOC, Perfection, Apocalypse Shadow, nothing. Just the character. I did see that apparently they are going to update their tier list to have the whole, like, dedicated light cones. Like, Akron's gonna have her light cone, Phasia has her light cone, Robin has hers, like, all that stuff, before March comes out, so that is pretty cool. But let's scroll down here. Saruja is, in fact, tier 0. She is a buff and a partner plus tag, right? So she's tier 0 in MOC, 0.5 in Pure Fiction, and tier 0 in Apocalyptic Shadow. This makes sense because her ranking is directly tied to Anoxa and Phanon. If you use her with anyone else, she is going to be utterly garbage, right? And because Anoxa is, look at that, tier 0, 0.50, and then 0, 0.50, granted the units that she's really good with are going to, reflect the score. Now, I have a couple issues with this. One, because she enters a partner plus tag, right? Which Heistlands also has it, right? Kafka does not, and Black Swan does not, which is interesting because you'd think the dot units would all have partner plus. At least Kafka, because you run Kafka with Heistlands. It's weird, right? Now, here is my issue with partner plus, right? We'll go over their criteria in a second. Partner makes sense, right? Like, Archer wants to be with Sparkle. It just makes sense, right? Same thing as if you're running a follow-up tag team, you probably want Robin, right? However, these characters can still function without the other, right? High Sealand, struggles a bit, but she's a bit more specific, right? I feel like having a lack of teams as a sort of, like, she's not a general support, but the way her kit looks, it's almost like they try to give her like generic buffs, right? Even though she's full on in skill. I feel like lack of teams is something that Prydwen has always docked you for, right? It's like, oh well, you only have like one top team, so we had to push you down the list, and like they're very like weird about it, right? Sometimes, like, I think Jiaoqi was like tier 0 because he was with Akron only, but other times they're like, oh, you don't have any teams, we're pushing you down. So I feel like they just pick and choose on what to actually, put for that, which is kind of weird. But for partner plus, it makes really sense for Saruja because she literally only has 2 characters and everyone else just like you would run literally anyone else. Versus High Sealants, she is meant for a specific team, right? Obviously, if you're gonna run Fugue on a crit team, Fugue is gonna be utterly worthless. You might as well just run like Hanya or something like that, right? So I give those characters a bit more slack, and I know the argument's gonna be like, oh well, she's a skill buffing unit, right? You can still technically, like, she's a support, right? Like it's just unfortunate, right? Like people are gonna argue like here and there, like, oh, she's basically the same thing, she's for skill units. Everybody has a skill. Not everybody, is a super break unit or is a follow-up unit or is a dot unit, right? And I feel like she should definitely get docked for that, right? Especially because it's gonna be taken out of context. Someone's gonna take a screenshot and be like, oh my god, look at, like, I've already seen it right there, the little thing that pops up on the screen. People have screenshotted that, and people are going to take it out of context, but, oh, Surger's broken, and they're going to summon for her, and they're going to realize that she's utterly, like, that. I think that every character here and a few of the characters here are way above her, like, in terms of actual, like, value and tiers. Like, it's crazy. Like being tied to a specific unit, I'll take one. I'll take one. Dot, if you want to move Dot down to tier 1 or to 0.5, 100%, because they don't have team variety. You have to run a specific team. Sure. I think if you are a tier 0 unit, you should have a little bit more leeway in your teams, right? Like, especially for support. But that's just me. And I know the argument can be made back and forth, like I just said, about, oh, she's a specific niche, so it's fine. You're contradicting yourself. I just think that a support should be able to support multiple things and not just be super specific. We're gonna have a super specific unit. You know, I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, enough of that. I'm just rambling at this point, and you know, people are gonna tear into my logic, so it is what it is. I'm used to it at this point. I mean, it's just Hoyo fans, right? So Surya, they're adding partner plus plus. Surya is one of the most challenging characters placed within the criteria of our tier list so far. The reason boils down to her design. Surya's kit is incredibly tailored towards a very small subset of characters. For those characters, she's exceptionally potent. These characters are Inoxa and Phanon, two of the most highly regarded damage dealers that sit unquestionably at the top of the damage ranking in most modes. Outside of these two powers, though, Shudra is underwhelming. Yes, she's fucking horrible. So much that it would be inaccurate to say her rank on tier lists may fall 2 or more positions when separated from them. 2 or more positions. As in like 1-2 to tier 1, or like 1-2 to like tier 2? Because I think she's like tier 2 if she's not with them. Like, she actually just does like basically nothing. But I think she gives like, she might give like res or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know she gives crit on like only the skill. Her kit's weird, man. Like, that's how much I did not care about this unit when I read the kit. I just saw it and was like, yeah, no, that's like, I'm good. I'm good, bro. I'm not summoning. Surya's first character we're sure she'll perform at the top of the meta, perhaps even being one, if not the highest scoring amplifier for as long as Inox and Phanon dominate. But on the other hand, we also need to respect the fact that outside of those two, she's underwhelming. Determining this as best as we can, we're introducing the Partner Plus Plus tag, an upgraded version of the usual Partner tag. Partner Plus Plus character is extremely reliant on being partnered with a small set of specific characters to function at their tier list ranking. When played with these characters, the character's ranking will be 2 to 3 tiers lower. Sorry, I said with, I meant without. And then the other one is 1 to 2, and this is 2 to 3. Definitely emphasis on the 3 here. I'm not gonna lie. High stands to Partner Plus Plus, summing up her ratings Surya highly on her release, so not only has a place alongside 2 of the strongest damage dealers, yada yada, yeah. Even she's niche, we expect she'll perform very well for those who can utilize her. We'll be relying on the Partner Plus Plus tag to communicate her shortcomings. In addition to adding Surya, we're also renaming niche meta line to off meta based on community feedback. And then Silver Wolf went down. I guess that is something as well. And possibly give it a shadow, which I guess is fine. If you like, honestly, tier 0 and 0.5 might as well be the same tier. You're still clearing just fine. Is that all they did? Oh, they actually. Oh, they didn't do like the minus thing for Silver Wolf. Okay. Hey, bro, I'm not gonna say it, but like anything to put a unit in tier 0, right? Like, is it just me? Like, I swear, Prydwen will do anything to put a unit in tier 0, man. Holy. The Partner Plus Plus tag is crazy. Like, what if we get, like, are we gonna get Partner Plus Plus Plus? Like, oh, if this unit doesn't have this specific 3 other characters with her, like, there's gonna be a day, right? Because Castorus is like the most chilled unit on the fucking planet Earth for some reason. There's gonna be a day where Castorus falls off and she's only tier 0 because you have to run her with like Triby, Hyacine, and like, I don't know, March maybe, or something like that. Or like maybe when what's her face come out, Pink Lady, I forgot her name, Mem, Elysia, that's not her name though, Cyrene, there we go. When she drops, right, maybe she's like utterly broken HP support, you know, and it's just like all the pink haired ladies on the same team, and we get to a point where the team's fallen off so much that Castorus is only tier 0 when running with these 3 exact characters, so she's Partner Plus 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 or something like that. Like oh my lord, like at that point, bro, if you are that specific with characters, you gotta go down the tier, man. You gotta go down. That's just my take on it. I think if a unit is truly tier 0, you have to be able to adapt to not having certain characters and still be tier 0, right? You can run a ton of teams with Castorus and still be tier 0. Same with Inoxa, Phanon, Archer's a bit more restrictive, right? That's why he has partner, granted, right? Robin is good on a ton of teams. Sunday's good on a ton of teams. RMC's good on a ton of teams. Cypher's good on a ton of teams, right? That's why they're tier 0, or hell, even 0.5 has a bit more restrictive, right? And I'll give it to you, you know, Streeter fans. Hystins, sort of in the same boat, right? I give her a little bit more slack, as I've said a million times, right? Saber has a ton of teams. Mide has, you know, a bit of variety of teams. Aglia, not so much, right? Herda, same thing, you know, not a ton of variety, but you know, that's why they're 0.5 and not tier 0, right? But that's just my take on a tier list. Prydwen is very inconsistent when it comes to how their own tier list works. At least that's what I've noticed throughout the years that they've done it. I'm very interested to see where they put characters with their light cone. But other than that, let me know what you guys think of Prydwen's list. Do you think Ceredra is like incredible, amazing? Do you think she's like, I'd say overhyped, but she's not actually overhyped because not a lot of people are like glazing her. But there's some people who are like glazing her to high hell, and I'm like, please just take off the glasses for 2 seconds. But anyway, that's how I feel. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one.